Hello, strangers. Welcome to the 8th installment of Albert Reads the Hits. I'm Albert Strange, and tonight's song is Daddy by Sammy Kaye. It's the 8th number one hit of all time, also known as Papito. But unlike several of the previous number ones, this song was not originally a Spanish language song. It was always in English. The song, again, was performed by Sammy Kaye. Sammy Kaye was a band leader. Big surprise with that. Almost every single song that we've had so far, with the exception of Bing Crosby, has been performed by a big band. It was written by Bobby Troup, who would later write the song "Get Your Kicks on Route 66," a song I'm sure you're familiar with. And it was sung by the Kaye Choir. There is no lead vocalist on this song. If you listen to it, you can tell there's a lot of people singing. It was number one for a total of 8 weeks in 1941. It was number one for 1 week, then it fell off for a couple weeks and regained number one, where it stayed for 7 weeks the second time around. It's actually kind of a strange scenario that happened. The previous two songs that I've done, both Jimmy Dorsey songs, My Sister and I and Maria Elena. My Sister and I was number one for a week, then it fell off and was replaced by Maria Elena. Maria Elena was number one for a week, then it fell off and was replaced by this song, Daddy by Sammy Kaye. The first time it was number one only for 1 week. It was replaced by Jimmy Dorsey's My Sister and I, which was number one again for 1 week. Then it was replaced by Jimmy Dorsey's Maria Elena for 1 week, before Sammy Kaye's Daddy took over number one again and stayed at number one for 7 weeks that time. So if we're looking at it as a type of rhyme scheme, it would be ABC, ABC. We'll see if anything like that happens again. So again, it was 1941. It was number one for 1 week, from June 21st to June 28th. Then it fell off for 2 weeks and regained number one on July 12th, and stayed at number one until August 30th, 1941. So a total of 8 weeks. 1 week off for 2 weeks, back on for 7 weeks. So 8 weeks total. All right. Well, let's get to it. Daddy by Sammy Kaye. Hey, listen to my story about a girl named Daisy May. Lazy Daisy May. Her disposition is rather sweet and charming, at times alarming, so they say. She has a man who's tall, dark, handsome, large, and strong, to whom she used to sing this song. Hey, Daddy, I want a diamond ring, bracelets, everything. Daddy, you ought to get the best for me. Hey, Daddy, gee, don't I look swell in sables, clothes with Paris labels? Daddy, you ought to get the best for me. Here's an amazing revelation. With a bit of stimulation, I'd be a great sensation. I'd be your inspiration. Daddy, I want a brand new car, champagne, caviar. Daddy, you ought to get the best for me. Hey, Daddy, I want a diamond ring, bracelets, everything. Daddy, you ought to get the best for me. Hey, Daddy, gee, don't I look swell in sables, clothes with Paris labels? Daddy, you ought to get the best for me. Here's an amazing revelation. With a bit of stimulation, I'd be a great sensation. I'd be your inspiration. Daddy, I want a brand new car, champagne, caviar. Daddy, Daddy, you ought to get the best for me. La-da. I do like the la-da at the very end. But this is obviously a song about a woman who's dating a rich man. She's probably younger than him, calling him Daddy. Daddy, I want a diamond ring, bracelets, everything. Don't I look swell in sables, clothes with Paris labels? You should want to buy this stuff from me, right? I'd look great in it, You should want it for me. It's not that I want it. You should want me to have it. But the part that I look at with more interest is, here's an amazing revelation. With a bit of stimulation, I'd be a great sensation. I'd be your inspiration. what kind of stimulation is she talking about? Is she stimulating him, or would him buying her all these things be stimulation for her? So, yeah, people like to have nice things, right? So that's that is Sammy Kaye's Daddy. Here's a kind of pop culture reference. This song was featured in a season 2 episode of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I don't watch that show, but I know it's very popular. So maybe I'll have to check it out, at least that episode. But the song itself, I mean, it had a nice beat. I found myself kind of bouncing along with it, but probably not something I would listen to if I hadn't come across it doing this. So that's that's what I have for you tonight, strangers. As always, do the YouTube things, like, subscribe, share, comment. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Do also remember to tip your servers, tip your bartenders, tip your delivery drivers, and I will see you next time, strangers.